my friends. Welcome to Wednesday Wealth Talk. I'm so glad that you have joined me today. We have an exciting show for you today. I'm going to tell you, we're going to be talking about the 3 things that the richest man who ever lived knew that he needed in order to build massive wealth. Hey, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. For just connecting up to listen to Wealth Talk today, I have a free gift for you. It's this little book called Potential, The Secret Power of 10. And in this book, I reveal the secrets of some of the most wealthy people in the history of the world. And I want to send this out to you free. Yep, I said it, free. And no, I'm not going to ask you to pay for the shipping and handling. I'm going to cover all of that. And it's just my gift to you for connecting up with us right here on this program. So if you want to, just go ahead. If you want to grab this free gift, you can get it simply by texting me, okay, at 352-283-8016. So you see it on the screen here. Let me say that again, it's 352-283-8016. And then you just text the word in the little text box, WWT. So that stands for Wednesday Wealth Talk. Okay? So let me do it again. You want to get this free book, all you got to do is text me, my phone number at 352-283-8016, and just text WWT, and I'll send this book out to you, my gift, just for connecting. Again, welcome. This is a new platform. Welcome to Wednesday Wealth Talk with Dr. J. Every Wednesday at noon, I come live for this show to teach you about wealth. And as we get started, the number one thing I want you to know is you're not crazy for wanting to be wealthy. That's right. The world out there, they're going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to tell you you can't. They're going to tell you you're greedy and evil and demonic even, right? They're going to try to get you to think that you are the crazy one for wanting a better life in all facets of your life. But I want you to know you are not crazy for wanting something more and wanting something better. They are the crazy ones. But what do people who are crazy do? They think they're right. Right? So because they've quit on their dream, they've quit on the pursuit of gaining wealth themselves, they pull out a weapon on you. You say, what is the weapon? The weapon is the gun of shame. The gun of shame. That's what people who've quit on their dreams, are stuck where they're at, who are satisfied with poverty and middle class living, they pull out this gun of shame on you because they have to shame you to try to get you to lower your standards back down to their standards. And so they're going to try to make you feel guilty, make you feel bad that you want a better life, that you want to be wealthy. And so every time you join up here on Wednesday, you're going to hear the voice of truth. You're going to hear that God wants you and has already predestined you to be wealthy. He's already decided it. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to go for your dreams, or are you going to surrender them to a bunch of people who are trying to steal, kill, and destroy your dreams? Well, I'm going to be the voice of confidence. I'm going to tell you, I don't care what your life looks like right now. You can do it. You can do it. This is a journey that you're on, remember. And sometimes on the journey, you're You go through some mud puddles, you go through some storms, you go through some fires, you face attack, you face setbacks. But you got to remember, this is a journey. And as long as you keep moving forward, you'll get to the place where you want to be. So excited. So excited for Wealth Talk every Wednesday. Now, let me get to our topic. Because our topic is the 3 things you need to build wealth. Now, it's very interesting that the richest man in the entire world had a father that was very wealthy and named David, King David. And King David and Solomon together kind of co-authored, so to speak, the book of Proverbs. All right? And so in the book of Proverbs, you find David teaching his son Solomon how to think, and it's also called the book of wisdom, because the book of Proverbs is a beautiful, beautiful manuscript when you look at it, painting pictures of right and wrong, wise people and foolish people, godly women and harlots. I mean, the whole poor people and wealthy people. The whole book is like this comparison that shows you the 2 sides of the coin, which is why the book is, in my mind, so brilliant. It brings you the promises over here, but it also brings you the warnings. So it's a book of promises, it's a book of warnings, it's a book of principles, it's a book of instructions. And so as you begin to read into this, you'll find a very, very, very important scripture that is the foundation to building anything in our life. Whether we're building a relationship with our spouse, whether we're building a house, whether we're building a skyscraper, whether we're building wealth, whether we're building a career, whatever we're doing in our lives, you'll find right here, this gives you how God actually builds things. Because David instructs his son Solomon on how God created everything. And within that instruction, he showed Solomon the 3 key things that are needed to build anything. Let me show you this. It's found in Proverbs chapter 3, verses 19 and 20. Proverbs 3, 19 and 20. Here's what it says. It says, "The Lord by wisdom founded the earth." Did you get that? The Lord by what? Wisdom founded the earth. I like that. By understanding, he established the heavens. And by his knowledge, the depths were broken up and the clouds dropped down with dew. Now, you'll find 3 key words right here, okay? Number 1, you find the Lord built the earth with wisdom. Number 2, he used understanding to establish the heavens. Number 3, he used knowledge. So wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Or we should say it this way: knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. It's like a stair step. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. So David starts off with, hey Solomon, listen, wisdom, understanding, knowledge. He puts an order to it, which is very important, because he'll go on to tell his son, Solomon, wisdom. Get wisdom. In all you're getting, get wisdom. Okay? It doesn't say in all you're getting, just get knowledge. It says get wisdom, the higher tier. So I always wondered, you hear those words, I always kind of wondered, what is the difference between those 3? And if it tells you that God built what he built, on these three things, isn't it important for us to understand what those three things are and do it in our own life, right? And so what you'll find, which is very interesting, I talk a lot about this in my Confidence for Living Wealthy book, which you can get on Amazon if you want to buzz over there. But what you'll find is then Solomon, then later on in the book of Proverbs, as he learned from his dad, Solomon had a wealthy father, and that's great. You see, wealthy people pass on their wealthy wisdom, their wealthy understanding, and their wealthy knowledge. And that's why you got to pay attention to who you listen to. Many people, sadly, they never had a wealthy background. So what they've listened to, I know myself, what I listened to wasn't from wealthy people. So I learned from poor people. So most people perpetuate that learning, grab on to what their parents taught them, what their teachers taught them, what their preachers taught them, who were all poor, who were all middle class. And they take that and they establish belief systems which create habits, a way of doing things, a way of operating in life. And what you believe, your internal belief systems, begin to become behaviors that create your reality. And so here was Solomon, who learned from his wealthy dad. Be careful, again, who you're listening to. You listen to broke people, you start having broken thoughts. And you start living and manifesting a broke life. Not only financially, but you end up living a broke life relationally, mentally, physically, spiritually, professionally, in all areas ends up being broken because you've been modeling broken people instead of strong, wealthy, and powerful people. So that's why you want to get wealthy people in your circle, no matter what it costs you. Are you hearing me today? I hope so. You need to get wealthy people inside your circle. You need to listen. And one of the things in the book of Proverbs, it's constantly saying, listen, listen, listen to my instructions. Don't fight, listen. So David teaches his son, this is how God made everything: knowledge, understanding, wisdom. Then later on in Proverbs 24, 3 through 24, 3 through 4, Solomon then writes, by wisdom, by what? By wisdom a house is what? Built. So David says, hey, the whole earth is built on these three principles. Solomon comes back and says, okay, I'm going to go practical on you. I'm going to show you how a house is built. He said, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established, and through what? Knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Wow. Did you see that again? Those exact three steps. Knowledge, understanding, top tier is wisdom. Okay. Now, we find the three tools then that we need right here. Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Of course, each one sets a precedence of the most important. The most important is wisdom. All right. So a lot of people talk about knowledge. Knowledge. You got to get knowledge. Knowledge is power. Have you ever heard that? Well, that's a half truth. We're going to learn that in just a second. Because first of all, in order to get wisdom, you got to walk up the stair steps because it's at the top. It's the peak. How do I get wisdom? Because David tells his son in Proverbs chapter 3, literally, that wisdom will get you everything. Wisdom's going to get you favor. Wisdom's going to cause your days to live long on the earth. Wisdom's going to make you wealthy. Wisdom's going to bring the relationships you need. Wisdom's going to fill your barns with plenty. Wisdom's going to cause increase in your life. Wisdom is the magnet. And that's why when Solomon was given the opportunity to hey, God comes to him and says, what do you want? He says, I want wisdom. Bing, 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 bing. He was at the top shelf, and God said, because you ask for wisdom, you're going to get everything. Wow. Now, I want you to watch this because this is very important, because some of us, we're blurry here, and we've got to define our terms so that we can become wealthy. So let's start off first with knowledge. What is knowledge? So knowledge is current and relevant information. Okay? Knowledge is simply current and relevant information. That's what it is. Now, I love it because whatever we're doing in life, we got to make sure that we get knowledge. My people perish for a lack of what? Knowledge. So it starts with the knowledge at the bottom level. And the reason why his people perish is because your knowledge has to be current and relevant. Meaning, the knowledge that you needed in the 90s is not the knowledge for the 80s. So knowledge of the 90s that worked in the 90s isn't going to work in the 21st century in 2020, right? You need current and relevant information. That's why you have to be a continual learner, all right? You have to keep growing because wealth and success is a moving target. It's constantly changing, and the world is evolving and changing. So you have to get current relevant information. And when I listen to a lot of people talk about wealth, I hear a lot, especially in the church. I hear a lot of teachings on things that worked in the 80s. And they took people's books, they took people's information from the 80s and the 90s, and now they're regurgitating the same things, the same teachings, and they're regurgitating them back to Christians in the pews, and it's the same message that's been keeping people broke before, but they just keep passing it on from one to the next because they're not staying on top of things. They're not studying from highly successful people who are making it happen in the marketplace. What's happening is that they're hearing it from one preacher to the next preacher who doesn't have the current relevant information. They're just passing on old, outdated teachings from one to the next, tying a couple Bible scriptures to it to justify the teaching, and thinking that they're teaching people right when they're really teaching people old, antiquated strategies that don't work in today's real world. There's my rant on that. So you need to get around some new voices. If you don't like where your wealth's at this stage of your life, you need to get around some new voices that are giving some current relevant information. All right? And so one of the things I'll give you, for instance, I mean, we're still pounding from the pulpits, that like debt is this super evil thing. like debt is the most evil thing you could ever experience in life. And the really wealthy people that I've coached, I mean, I've coached a billionaire, coached several people who 300 million, 600 million range, that whole range. Coached several people in that area. Here's what you'll find. When they hear those statements, they think that's stupid. Those those guys who have serious wealth, not patty cake wealth. People who have serious wealth today, they have leveraged wealth to get wealth. And some people say, well, that's not in the Bible. Oh, well, don't forget the lady that her husband died and he left her with a bunch of debts. And he said what? Hey, go borrow a bunch of vessels. Go borrow. I heard one guy say that borrowing is not in the Bible. It's not of God. I'm like, did you read the same scripture I read? Go borrow. Don't forget, even Jesus used a borrowed tomb. Even Jesus borrowed a donkey to ride in for his triumphal entry. He borrowed a say, go in town and find a guy who'll be carrying a water pot on his head, but go borrow that pot. And the principles all throughout the Bible, actually. The banks were created by the Jews because they wanted to help people, entrepreneurs who wanted to start a business. They wanted to help them. They wanted to serve them so they could borrow money to start a business. It was a positive thing. And then in the 80s and that, we made it like this demonic thing. So people are still being taught that. And yes, there's good and bad debt. That's what you need to learn. Consumer debt is bad, and we should fight that with everything we have. But to borrow, to be able to get an asset that is greater than what you borrowed, or to start a business is wise debt. To borrow for an asset is wise. But we're not hearing that kind of teaching. So we've got to get back to knowledge, which is current, relevant information. You got to start learning. And remember, even Jesus said, because then you got some people say, well, you're listening to ungodly people, those ungodly people. Remember, even Jesus said, the children of darkness sometimes know more than the children of light. Yeah, I don't want people who are in darkness to know more than me. So guess what? Sometimes you have to be like Daniel, and you have to go and learn what the Babylonians know. You got to go sit at the feet of sometimes people who may not love God, but they've got the information that you need so that you can get to where you need to go. The next level is understanding. So once you get the current relevant information, then what you have to do, it's not enough to read information. Like I'm doing a lot of study in a lot of different areas to improve what I'm doing and to get better at this whole thing of being on the internet, empowering people through the internet. I'm learning. I'm growing in all these areas. But it's one thing for me to read a book. It's another thing for me to understand it. So there's some books right now I keep reading over and over and over again. Why? Because understanding is current, relevant information that you comprehend. See, so not only do you need to get knowledge, you need to comprehend the knowledge. So that means you got to hear it over and over and over and over and over again. So then you say, now I understand. I can comprehend it now. It's not vague. Then once you have knowledge, you have understanding, now you go to the next level, which is wisdom. Wisdom is current, relevant information that you understand and act on. You see how this is building now? Knowledge, current, relevant, just information. Understanding, current, relevant information that you comprehend. Now we go to the next level. What is wisdom? Wisdom, current, relevant information that you understand and now apply. See, that's the big one. So now at the point of wisdom, now you've developed a skill, because now you know how to take what you know and you understand. Now you've developed a skill set. Now you've developed a value. You've added personal value to your life that you can take to the marketplace. And the marketplace pays you and rewards you financially for the value that you bring it. So I hope you've enjoyed this wealth talk today, as I've done my best to share with you these 3 critical things that you need in your life to build. And part of this is why I've created what's called Wealth Tribe. Wealth Tribe is my online platform where we consistently educate you and train you how to have a millionaire mindset. Everybody wants millionaire status. Let me show you this. Isn't this true? All of us want to be down here. We have a target. We want to have the millionaire status. Everybody wants that. That's why so many people go and play the lottery. Oh, I'm hoping to get it. Oh, that's their strategy to getting wealthy, playing the lottery. Okay. That's the wrong process. You don't start off saying, I just want millionaire status. No. The first thing you got to do is you got to build the millionaire mindset. And that's what Wealth Tribe is all about. Helping you build that millionaire mindset, then moving you to millionaire habits, where now not only do you got the right mindset, now because you have the right mindset, now what happens is you begin to have a behavior like a millionaire. You create the habits like a millionaire. Now you have the principles and the strategies that you're walking out in your life right here, habits. And when you do that, guess what? You start attracting. You start attracting people. You start attracting resources. You start seeing right where the world is seeing all the negative, where the world sees no opportunity, where the world is all victims and think they're entitled to something. Now you're seeing with the new light. You're seeing opportunities everywhere you go. And now, guess what? Those opportunities get attracted to you. Then you experience millionaire attraction, and once that starts happening, then you move into the millionaire status. So that's what Wealth Tribe is all about. We have 3 different levels, and our first level is what we call apprentice. The second level is what we call a master, and the third level is what we call an expert. And in each one of these levels, we bring you a new level of training inside of my Wealth Tribe portal. So all online, we have all this training on how to become God's next millionaire. That's all in level number 1, where I just take you for 9 sessions and I set you down and say, okay, here's the mindset of millionaires. And I start teaching you that. And we just start adding tremendous value in your life at level 1. And by the way, you can check this all out online at just go to the link wealthtribe.tv, wealthtribe.tv, and you can see all these levels. Level 2 is the master, where then you get all of the apprentice, and then you come in here and we start helping you with my 66-day confidence journey. I start helping you become a better leader. We start dropping all of my coaching programs for wealth inside of there, all at level 2. And then level 3 is Wealth Tribe, Wealth Tribe Expert. And at that level, you have group coaching where we meet every single month and we come online and you get coaching from me, personal coaching. So if you have problems, you have issues, you have questions, you can get those things answered. And we have a couple different levels. Level 1 as apprentice, it's $9 a month, so $9.95. You join and you can be a part of the Wealth Tribe movement. Level number 2 is at $39 a month, and level number 3 is at $83 a month. Think about it, $83 a month investment, and you can get all the education you need, and you can get the coaching and the mentoring you need, plus a community of people who will tell you you're not crazy for wanting to be wealthy. Man, you gotta change your associations. It's not enough to just leave bad ones. You got to connect to some new ones. And that's why I created Wealth Tribe, a place where Christian entrepreneurs and believers who have a right mindset can come gather together. So to join Wealth Tribe, just go to wealthtribe.tv and sign up. And I'm so glad that you do that. And don't forget, as we close out, don't forget to pick up your potential book. I'm going to send it out to you. It's my gift to you. You don't pay shipping and all that kind of stuff. It's just my gift to you. So I want to just take this time right now. If you're watching live, I want to acknowledge all of you who are watching live. And if you have any questions right now, I'm going to field any questions that you may have. Let me just scroll down here and see if we have any questions going on. Check out our Instagram group over here. See what kind of questions they may have. Let's see what we have. Felix. Hey, Felix. Felix said it's well worth the investment. He has 5 exclamation points. He's part of Wealth Tribe. He's connecting to us. Thank you so much, Felix. I appreciate that. Let me see. Any questions you can just post down below if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram. I'd be glad to answer any questions. Let's see. Okay. Somebody's looking forward to me being in Philadelphia. Yeah, it's my first. I'm starting right now. I'm going to start getting back out there and traveling. I'm going to be doing a Wealthy Experience Conference in Philadelphia. Anybody from Philadelphia? I'm going to be in Philadelphia the last weekend of the month. And we're going to do a Living Wealthy Experience. Wow. A full seminar on Sunday morning, Sunday night. It's going to be awesome. Demaria said, if I took the financial course with our pastor, we did 8 sessions. Will this be the apprentice level? No. Actually, the apprentice level is a brand new level that we've created. And the God's Next Millionaire movement, the whole training, that's all new. That's all fresh. And we add all the time. We're just adding. So no, it's not the same. How long is the Wealth Tribe Apprentice training and the next levels? All of the platforms are on Wealth Tribe. You can advance as you want to advance. So it's all up to you. And it's all online. So you could go on there. You can pick what you want. It's kind of like a smorgasbord. It's like, what kind of problem are you facing? Well, my wife and I, we're struggling in the area of our marriage and money. We're in arguments all the time. Well, you could go over to Wealth. You click on Wealth. And right down there, you'll find a whole training on marriage and money where my wife and I just talk about the challenges that we had with money. And you can go right on there and you can learn from that. So it's like what you have to do is you just learn at your own pace. So it's all there. You pick what you want. You take what you want. And it's pretty neat. So that's how that works, Gert. Thanks for that question. I appreciate it. Let me see if I can find any other questions here. Any questions about wealth? Any questions about what we talked about today? The 3 pillars. While you're posting, what did you think of that? What did you think of that? Were you like me and you saw those 3 words and you're like, what's the difference? I could never separate the difference until, probably 7-8 years ago. And it was a game changer for me. So I have to get knowledge. That's why I create Wealth Tribe. You have to get knowledge, current relevant information. And that's what I'm committed to, is getting God's people the current relevant information. and then saying it over and over and over again until they get a comprehension, understanding, and then helping you operate your life with wisdom, which is the apex. And once we can get you doing that, man, your life's going to change. All right? So glad. I see so many. Let me see if anybody's asking on here. Okay, here's Felix. What are some of your daily habits that is taking you to the next level? Good question, Felix. One of my main habits is every single day, morning and night, I read. I apply Joshua 1:8 in my life. This book of the law, you shall meditate on it day and night. This book. Well, God was telling him that books are the gateway to a successful life. All right? So reading, developing a new skill called reading. Did you hear me? Some of you have to develop a new skill called reading. Now, I know back when you were a kid, some of you, many of you had problems reading. You couldn't comprehend. You had attention deficit disorder, right? You're too busy. You wanted to play. The kids were around, and you wanted to play. Once you got older and you're 16, man, that's all you had was girls on your mind. It's like, study? Really? I just got girls on my mind. That's all I have on my mind. Girls and track and sports and focus on learning. No. And so back then I developed a mentality that I couldn't read, and it was simply because I was so distracted as a young person. And what you have to do is you have to get back in the game, and as an adult, and you have to start developing reading skills. Now, just like any skill, it takes a while to develop. When I first gave my life to God and to Jesus Christ, that was the first thing I started to do, is read the Bible. And when I first started reading the Bible, I could barely read. People don't believe this, but I could barely read. And I would read one paragraph and forget, and I didn't even know what I read. I could barely pronounce prosperity. I mean, I didn't even know what that word prosperity meant, to be honest with you. And so when I read that Joshua 1:8, I applied that in my life, and I still apply it in my life. And I'm a constant reader. You'll find when you study billionaires and millionaires, they're all constant readers. And when you study the middle class and the poor, they don't read. Very easy observation. Just jump on a plane, look at what people are doing in first class, and look at what people are doing way back at the back of the airplane. Way back at the back of the airplane, they're watching videos, they're playing video games on their phone. When you look at first class, they're reading the newspaper, they're reading business magazines, they're reading books. That's what's going on in first class, okay? It's a different way. So, you look at every house that's built that's over $200,000 has a library in it, has an office in it. There's a reason. There's a reason they build a library in a $200,000 house and they don't build libraries in mobile homes. There's a reason. It's information. Information moves into understanding, moves into wisdom. Things start kicking in. Great. Man, I could go on and on that subject, Felix. Thank you for asking that question. Wow. Let's see who else is on here. Yeah, that's right. Discipline to apply the knowledge. Okay. It looks like I've answered all of those there. Let's see if I have any besides this. Another person said, beside your books online, what other books do you recommend? Man, be focused to get my books first. My books first. Yeah, make sure you get Confidence for Living Wealthy. That book right there gives you the full synopsis of wealth, living a holistic, wealthy life, spiritually, mentally, physically, relationally, professionally, and financially. All 6 areas, growing in all 6 areas of your life. That's what I recommend. If you haven't got that, read that, and studied it, like you got your Bible on one side, you got Confidence for Living Wealthy on the other side. It's so important. It's so important for you to do. And it's just go on Amazon and get it. That's for me. So there we go. I want to, and if you say, well, that cost me money. Good. Okay. Here you go, bud. All you got to do is get this book right here. I'll send it to you for free. You just text me at 352, I believe it's on the screen. Yeah, 352-283-8016, and do WWT. And you can, if someone would post that down below, will someone post that below for me on Instagram and on Facebook? Text me there. Or you could also just go to WednesdayWealthTalk.com. WednesdayWealthTalk.com. Put in your address there, fill out the information, and we'll get this out to you right away. Okay, my gift to you. Here's a place to start. This little booklet right here was the launching pad to building my wealth and my success. It was a secret to Oprah, secret to the Rockefellers, the Fords, so many different people. It's all right here. Potential, the secret power of 10. This book. I want to get it to you for free. You don't pay for shipping or anything. I take care of that. Just text me or go over here to WednesdayWealthTalk.com. Thanks for joining every Wednesday now. Every Wednesday I come live for this talk. You can ask questions. We can dialogue together right here live online. That's why I'm doing it this way. This is a show. So we participate. We connect with one another. So excited. Let you know if you have any desire at all to be a coach, to be a speaker, to be a best-selling author. If you kind of look at me and say, man, I want to do what he's done, which, I want to not only speak in churches, I want to speak in businesses, and I want to develop, 6-figure coaching clients, and I want to become a best-selling author, and I want to speak on big stages or even small stages. That's what 83K Academy is all about. And right now we're taking applications. So only 4 times a year, I'm taking a handful of people, and you got to apply. And if you go to 83K Academy right now, you can learn more about it. Put in your email address. It'll take you to a page that tells you all about it. And if you're interested, then Coach Sherry will be calling you, and she'll do a little evaluation on you, and you'll see if you're accepted or not. And if you are, I personally will mentor a handful of people for 90 days. It's phenomenal. You're going to see some videos of some people who are going through the class right now. It's so exciting to see their lives change. So if anything inside of you says, man, I want to do that, okay, go check out 83K Academy. We've been posting it on social all over the place. Go check it out. Apply. See what happens, So thank you for joining me for Wednesday Wealth Talk. And as we leave, I'm going to tell you, be confident, live wealthy, and make a difference in people's lives.